There, YouTubers, it's Captain T-Bone here, working on the old boat again. Did some sanding, wet sanding, compounding, and waxing. It didn't come out how I wanted it, but I wanted to share with you guys what I did. First thing I did was I compounded it. I'm sorry, take that back. Wet sanded it. I wet sanded it with 800 grit, 1000, then 1500. And that took me most of the day just to do this one side. And then I wiped it off. I added a little Dawn dishwashing soap, just a couple drops. They said it's supposed to make it easier to sand a little bit. So I did that and then rinsed it off. And then I took the compound agent, 3M compound, medium grit, and got my buffer pad. And then I bought one of the cheaper ones at AutoZone, but it's a variable speed, goes up to like 5,000 RPMs to 2,500. And then my foam applicator pad broke, so I wound up using the foam hard pad that was on the waxer itself. And then I took the terry cloths and wiped it off. I did that like twice, and I didn't get the look I wanted, but you get an idea of what I have now, the reflection of it a little bit. I can see myself, but the paint job, I'm running out of time. For me to do it right, I should have painted it another coat and then wet sanded it, etc., etc. But there's always another year for that. So what I'm doing today is I'm waxing it. I got the Marine Paste Wax. It's supposed to be really good. A little close up. And I put that on there, and it's coming up pretty decent. Doing it by hand because I don't want to burn the wax with the polisher, and the cheap one that I bought only came with one pad each. And when you do one side of the boat, they get gunked up pretty good. So I have to buy more pads for the compounder. But anyway, just I got a nice reflection of my truck in there at least. But if you look at it really close, you see a lot of see-through spots where I compounded a little too much. So you want to be careful with that 800 grit. And with one coat on there, that's probably why I went through it easier. If I had two coats, it probably wouldn't have been a problem. But that's what I did. And when I do some wet sanding on the aft, I'll try to get you a video on that. But that's kind of hard because it's pretty messy. So I have to do the stern here, and that's a pretty messy job. But if you looked at my other post, my varnish came out pretty good, my varnish job. So I'm pretty happy with that. And you can see it glistening. So I'm going to be putting that on. My goal today is to wet sand the aft, compound it, dry it off, wax it, and then put the swim platform on. That's the goal for today. And then if I have enough time, I'll come to my final side and then wet sand the port side. You can see how it's not that shiny. It's like a dull finish. When I rolled and tipped the Easy Epoxy paint, it dried so quick that I had to put more thinner in it, and what it did, it flashed it a little bit. That haze that you see, kind of like I'm trying to get you guys close in it. It's like a little haze. Usually it comes up a lot nicer, a lot shinier than that. But that was a little bit too much thinner reducer. So, but I just had to do it. It was like 80 degrees that day that I did it. And you can see down here, I have a couple of lines. I didn't mean to give you the bird. So that's about it for today at Curtin's Marina. And as always, I'd like to say hello to my fellow devil dogs out there who don't know. She's going to be called the Semper Fi, or Semper Fi, which means always faithful in Latin for the Marine Corps motto. So, as always, God bless America.